All right, welcome to today's video. It is chapter 1, lesson 2E, 2E, and we're going to have decimals in the dividend and the divisor today. So here we go. All right, so back in 3rd grade when you started doing division and you had to ask yourself 24 divided by 4, you might have skip counted by 4s until you came up with how many 4s went into 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so you would have gotten an answer of 6 because 4 goes into 24 6 times. There are 6 of these guys that add up to 24. Well, decimals divided by decimals, you can think of the same thing. You can think how many 0.2s are in 0.6. Well, if I start skip counting by 0.2s, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, that would end up equaling 0.6. So how many times does it go in? It goes in 3 times. Now, almost never do we have a question that's like this, that we can think out through in our heads, we can logically reason through it, almost never. So we need a procedure because this is just, it doesn't work very often. So our procedure for dividing decimals by decimals. So let's say that I had 1.71 divided by 0.9. So I don't want to try to count how many 0.9s, skip count by 0.9s, and it might not even be even. Like this would happen to be a whole number, but this might not be a whole number. So we need to have a procedure for how do we do this. Well, I know how to divide by whole numbers. I know how to divide by a 9. I don't know so much how to divide by a decimal number, but hey, if I could make him look like a 9, that'd be easy. Well, how do I go from 0.9 to 9? I push the dot back, or I could think of it as multiplying by 10. So I can push the dot back or multiply by 10. Well, then that means that I've got to push this decimal back or multiply that number by 10, because if you treat one of them one way, then you have to treat everybody the same. That wouldn't be fair to only push him back and not push him back. So if I multiply 1.71 times 10, I get 17.1. 17.1. So decimal used to be between these two numbers. Now the decimal's one place back. The decimal used to be up here. Now it's one place back. Now this looks just like the last lesson we did. Buttons on a snowman. I put my decimal straight up. 9 goes into 17 once. Subtract. 9 goes into 81 9 times. No remainder, so I'm el finito, done, done, done. 1 and 9/10, 1.9 is my final answer. So that is actually this answer too. This answer went in. This answer is 1.9 and this answer is 1.9. So by doing this, we really solved our original question. All right, here's a question for you to try on your own. Remember the book likes to write them sideways? We have to write them this way when we solve them. So don't forget that this first number goes in the house, second number goes outside of the house. Pause the video, work it out, see if you're correct. Are you right so far? 32 is your answer. 544 divided by 17 is 32. And that means that this answer over here would have also been 32. All right, these are your Google Classroom questions. I'm putting them right here just to make sure that they don't get cut off. They got cut off of another video that I made, so I'm sticking them right here, which might seem like a weird spot. But anyway, just keep watching the video and then come back to this. Here's another one I'd like you to try. Pause the video, then push play and see if you're right. I got 9/10. How about you? So let's just recap. The book wrote it this way, so I wrote it this way. I said, I don't like this, so I'm going to push the decimal back 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now it's a 7. I have to come over here and push the decimal back 3 times. That makes it 6.3. Buttons on a snowman, I put my dot straight up. 7 goes into 63 9 times. Make sure the 9 is above the 3. All right, let's look at this question. I've got 52 divided by 4/10, 52 divided by 0.4, 52 goes in the house, 0.4 goes outside the house. I don't like 0.4, I like regular 4, I like a whole number 4. So if I push the decimal back one place, everything's good. But now I've got to push the decimal back one place over here on the 52. So where is that decimal? I don't see the decimal. I know that there's got to be a decimal. Could the decimal be up front, in the middle, or in the back? It is in the back. So I'm going to move him over. Remember, this is like timesing by 10 because I wanted to move in one spot. So 52 times 10, that makes 520. Or you can think of it as moving the decimal over one place. Now I'm just ready to divide 4 into 520. That goes once, that goes 3 times, and that goes 0 times. 520 goes divided by 4 is 130. 130, not 13, but 130. All right, let's look at this one. Now, before I draw the house, are you already thinking, where do each of these go? I don't know. Are you thinking that the 1800s goes out here and that the 9,000ths goes in there? Remember, it's opposite of how it looks. Okay, now I don't want 0.18, I want regular 18. If I go make the decimal at the back of the number, it's going to take 2 hops. It's like multiplying by 100 this time because I've got to get it pushed all the way to the back, and that's 2 place values, which is 100, 2 zeros. Come over here, push him back 2 place values, or multiply by 100, either way. Now this is always so messy, so I like to rewrite it because I just don't like looking at all that mess and all those hops. And so let's rewrite it. And I would encourage you to rewrite it on your homework. Write it first and write it again. So now I've got a normal 18, whole number 18. And I've got 9/10 over here. Well, 18 goes into 0 times. And 18 can't even go into 9. It goes in that 0 times. So now what do I do? Oh yeah, I'm allowed to add zeros to the back of the number. 18 goes into 90 5 times. 18 times 5, I'm going to do some scratch work over here. That's 40, carry the 4. That's exactly 90. So I'm finished. Done, done, done. 5/100ths, 0.05. So just double checking, the first guy goes in the house, second guy goes out of the house. We had to push him back twice, It's like multiplying by 100. Buttons on a snowman, the dots line up. This happened to be a 0 and this happened to be a 0, so I had to add an extra 0 so that I could have 90 and it could go in 5 times. All right, you try this one in green. 4/10 divided by 25. Push pause, work it out, then hit play. So my answer was 16 thousandths. 16 thousandths. I put 0.4 in the house, 25 on the outside. I didn't have to hop anybody back because 25 was already a whole number and I liked it. Put the decimal straight up and down. 25 can't go into 4, so I put a 0. But 25 can go into 40, so I added this extra 0, so I had 40. It can go in 1 time. 1 times 25, subtract, add another 0. Bring it down. 25 goes into 156 times. And it was finished. Yay!